Well, yeah, Jesus never mentioned abortion. Jesus was against the death penalty. Jesus literally overturns eye for an eye in the Sermon on the Mount. So I didn't write it, y'all. Jesus's religion, I think it's called Judaism. That's what he was when he died. They don't prohibit abortion. Abortions are legal in Israel. Abortions are free in Israel. And if y'all really think God is devoted to the lives of children, let me tell you, Gentiles, about what Passover is sometimes. So again, not to say that Jesus is pro-abortion, but nowhere in the Bible does it say put women in prison for terminating a pregnancy. And Lindsey Graham spent all this time saying, "Oh, we're never going to do that. We're never going to have a national ban." And now, of course, he wants a national ban. So he likes it both ways. But like Mitch McConnell keeps saying, "They're not going to be a national ban. Never going to be a national ban." And there's Lindsay, like Chico Marx, going, "What, a national ban? I got a national ban right here." And it's great to see the Republicans feel like they have permission to openly hate Lindsey Graham again, because they do.
You retweeted Kimberly Guilfoyle, as you are wont to do. She was right about one thing: the best is yet to come, meaning indictment and imprisonment of the Trump family. But here she is yesterday on Tish James. Kimberly Guilfoyle yesterday.
It's unbelievable. There's no substance whatsoever to this suit. And it is a sad day in America where we are turning into a third world country with this kind of lack of justice. She should be herself investigated and brought before the state bar for her conduct, which is unbecoming the office of a prosecutor and attorney general. And she wants nothing but attention for herself. She doesn't care.
What?
She doesn't care about justice. She doesn't care about facts or evidence. She failed at being able to run for governor. So this is what she's doing. Letitia James presiding over the kangaroo court.
And you were very helpful. You said on Twitter, you hear that, folks? Letitia James has nothing. You don't need to donate any money for Trump's legal expenses, okay? You don't need to donate when you get all those emails all day tomorrow.
That's Kimberly Guilfoyle accusing someone else of being in it for the attention.
Yes.
By the way.
Yes.
Because if Don Jr. is not allowed to practice real estate, Kimmy has to get a job.
Yeah.
So I understand how that works. You know, years ago, one of the heads of ABC News wanted to pair me with Kim Guilfoyle and asked us to have a meeting. And I had a lunch with her, the three of us.
Oh, dear.
And I was just overwhelmed by how stupid she was. I mean, overwhelmed. Like, it's not an act. I don't mean to be mean, but she's mean. We're all stupid in different areas. But if you're stupid and mean, then you get called out. And I'm telling you, it was like talking to paste. It's beautiful when the right people find each other. And every guy with Don Jr.'s character deserves to abandon the mother of his children for a woman just like Kim. I have dairy products that will last longer than their marriage. Dairy.
What did Gavin Newsom see in her?
I don't. I can't.
I don't get it.
I don't know. I mean, it's hard for me to say as well. People do lots of things under duress.
Yes.
I don't understand what it could have been. I like that opposites attract, but honestly, I'll never understand it.
Yeah.
And it's going to be great, by the way, when Gavin Newsom does run for president at some point in our future, to see how Kim treads that line.
Yes,
of course, by then,
exactly.
no one will listen to it.
What is more inexplicable to me is that some woman on this earth said, "Yes, Eric Trump, I will marry you." Here's Lara.
When you have some bloodthirsty individual like Letitia James who has promised to sue you, to promise to lock you up and do everything she could to take you down, attorneys suggest you take the fifth, of course. But this is a woman who, people may not know this, my husband started a charity to raise money for kids at St. Jude Children's Hospital when he was 22 years old. He raised $30 million for the kids of St. Jude, and Letitia James has such vitriol and hatred for anyone with the last name Trump that she decided to investigate my husband's charity, despite the fact that it had one of the lowest expense ratios of any private charity in America. And unfortunately, guess who was hurt by that? It wasn't my husband. It's the kids of St. Jude. Who knows how many kids have died unnecessarily thanks to her investigation and her just vitriol and hatred for anyone with the last name Trump.
Would you like to unpack that, John? So Letitia James killed those kids from St. Jude's.
But again, yes,
because for busting his fake charity.
Because they went after the corruption of Donald Trump's fraud charity, where Trump himself had to pay $2 million for charity fraud, where Trump's children are now banned from running charities in the state of New York, where Trump's children had to take a course in how to not steal from people with a fraud charity. kids are going to die. The Attorney General never went after Eric's cancer charity, although Donald Trump did loot it. They went after the Trump Foundation. And you know what? Honestly, when I see Eric, being part of this lawsuit, Lara Trump should just be grateful that they invited Eric to do something with the rest of the family.
Yes,
it happens so rarely.
That's right.
You're bringing him along.
He should be grateful they've subpoenaed his Fisher-Price phone. Listen, you something has happened in the universe because you retweeted Jared Kushner criticized DeSantis flight of migrants. He said we have to remember these are human beings. They're people. So seeing them being used as political pawns is very troubling to me. Did you have thoughts on that, John?
Yeah, because right after that, they said, well, what about the way that your father-in-law treated migrants? And Jared began saying, recalculating. So it was a little glitchy. I think maybe the biggest lie we're getting is about Ron DeSantis' little, schlep me Rhonda, is this whole thing of Biden did the same thing. Rocky Mountain Mike, schlep me Rhonda, help, schlep me Rhonda.
Oh,
it's there for you.
Yeah, okay.
He loves
But Biden did nothing of the kind. Biden, yes, the president has the authority to move migrants around the country, to make beds available at the border places. Joe Biden never lied to migrants that they had jobs and Social Security cards and money waiting for them if they got on a plane.
Yeah.
Joe Biden never flew a plane somewhere and didn't tell officials there's a plane of migrants coming. Joe Biden, as the president, is allowed to move migrants. Rhonda doesn't get to fly them from Texas all the way to Massachusetts. And finally, it was a Republican governor who moved them to Cape Cod. The right-wingers are saying they were deported, Steffi. They were moved to Cape Cod. Morons. I'm in Manhattan. If I go to see the Yankees play, I didn't get deported to the Bronx. It's the same state.
Yeah.
It's a Republican governor moved them.
Yeah. These are
and they're not illegals.
Yeah. I mean, it's because they're becoming a party of everything Jesus wouldn't do. Aren't they? I mean, they're trying to own the libs, and it was the libs that ended up looking Christian or Christ-like or whatever you want to call the way, they have welcomed and cared for these migrants, right?
Well, it's like Jesus said, I was hungry and you spat on me. I was thirsty and you peed on me. I was sick and in need, and you ate an entire box of cabbage and then crapped all over me. That's the gospel of Ron. And again, I will debate any conservative Christian about what Jesus did and did not say, because there is no way you can follow the brown-skinned, homeless, unarmed Nazarene and also support Darth Jabba. You can't do it. And it goes for the whole Republican Party, too. I don't want us to lose sight of that. We did this with Bush. Bush and Cheney went away, but they were just the hood ornaments on the Nazi clown car. And the entire infrastructure of the GOP stayed in place. Trump's gone away. We can't forget the fact that, it's the entire Republican Party that's the problem, not Trump. We can't fixate on him. Ron DeSantis is right now a greater threat to democracy than Donald Trump because he's more powerful politically. So bring it on, Christians. Call my show any night. Call Steph's show. I'm always happy to talk to any of these revoltingly false chinos about what is and is not in the New Testament. Their Messiah is a bloated, racist clown from Queens. That's it.
That is the kind of personal comedy Jesus magic you will get at Sexy Liberal Chicago tomorrow night.
I'll have jokes
SexyLiberal.com. Yes, and also jokes.
It won't just be preachy vitriol, I promise.
And also, I'm prepared. You tweeted, I'm already declassifying you with my mind as my new come online. So, ladies, look out tomorrow night.
Whoa, what just happened to me? Did the FBI plan that too? Wow. Yeah.
And you're going to be selling stuff in the lobby, aren't you, John, tomorrow?
Yes. Yeah. You mean weed?
No, not weed.
Yes, we're going to have merch as well. Yeah,
yes,
sorry.
Yes.
You might be selling weed. We don't know this.
Legal merch for sale tomorrow night at the show.